The saying goes that the rain in Spain falls mainly on the plain, but here in Barcelona, the heavens opened with a tremendous storm here this morning. Hello and welcome to the capital of Catalonia as we prepare for race 2 of the penultimate round of the 2025 Italian F.4 Championship presented by WSK Promotion together with the Automobile Club of Italy. The cars are on the circuit, the track is dry but it was quite wet, quite damp earlier this morning. You can see it has eased off. It is an overcast morning and we are under threat of another thunderstorm here in just a moment. Hopefully we do race on a dry circuit. As we take a look at the grid for you, it is Olivieri who starts on pole position for the first time in 2025 alongside o menino do Brasil, Gabriel Gomez, Ki Nakamura who won race 1 yesterday, Salim Hanna on the outside of row 2. Sebastian Weldon starts grid 5 for the second time this weekend alongside Max Popov out of 6. Then we go to Newman Chi, Andrea Dubé, great performance from the Frenchman in qualifying. Luca Samalisto, who stormed home to P5 yesterday. Superb effort from the Kiwi Brit. Emily Cotti, she starts out of grid 10. David Cosma, Christopher Carr, 13, out of it, grid 11. Alongside Alexander Ruta, then it's Alex Powell, Marcus Sata, Teo Schropp, Alexander Bondarev, Dante Vinci, who was on the rookie podium yesterday. He will resume the fight with Artem Severukian. The Jensen Motorsport driver starts out of grid 18. Then we go to Kabira Anurag, who came home in the points yesterday, starts back on 19th on the grid. Bart Harrison, Jan Koller, Andrea Kostic, the US racing drivers. Andy Consani is alongside Ludovico Busso, now racing with Us Racing. Luca Visoriano for RACGP had a tough run yesterday. Bader Al-Sulati, a superb drive, but starts from grid 26 if he's to repeat his heroics from yesterday. David Walter, the Californian, Peyton Westcott, Kirill Kutzkov back on 29, and Guy Albag out of grid 30. Matilda Parts, she is out of 31, the driver from Cologne. In fact, it's an all-German row of the grid. Phil Collins Strange for AES Motorsport, her somewhat teammate. Matilda racing together with AES Motorsport. Andre Rodriguez, Nathaniel Berraby, who had a jump start yesterday, starts out of grid 34. Cornelia Olkutska, and Elia Weiss starts on grid 36. Did not set a time in qualifying. Caused the red flag to come out in qualifying 1, crashed into the wall in turn 4, so did not set a time in Q2, and thus will have to start on the back of the grid for the Crown Motorsport team. There is word from race control. The track has officially been declared wet. It is dry. We are on the Pirelli slick tyre, but you can see that the track, well, the sky in the background is quite grey and overcast. We are expecting another thunderstorm, well, anytime this afternoon. The race to start behind the safety car, that magnificent R35. That is the car, something like 15 years of production. I'll stand corrected on that. Following in the footsteps of the original Godzilla, the R32, yes, personal preference there. There's the R35 Skyline, do we call it a Skyline? Godzilla, the safety car sets off and the race is officially underway here in Spain. It will start behind the safety car, the track damp offline. It is a warm, humid morning here in Barcelona. A tremendous thunderstorm earlier in the morning actually brought out the red flag during qualifying for GT Open, of course, the penultimate round of the Italian Championship, our guest appearance outside the home nation of Italy. This is Catalonia in Spain, racing together with the GT Open International Championship, together with the Formula Regional European Championship, Euro Formula Open, and this 36 cars on the grid for the world's most competitive junior car racing series, the Italian F.4 Championship, presented by WSK Promotion, together with the Automobile Club of Italy. The final round at Misano on Italy's Adriatic coast on October 12th. The sun actually coming out to shine for just a moment as we take a look at the situation regarding the championship. Ki Nakamura, he took his 8th victory of the series yesterday as Max Popov goes through in car 3. He is the championship leader on 271 points. Gabriel Gomez, 80 behind on 191 points. Sebastian Weldon The American is third in the championship on 163 points. Then we go to Salim Hanna, who is also the top rookie on 134 points. Alex Powell and Emanuele Olivieri, 5th and 6th in the series. 126 and 113 points for the RA's GP duo, who won the season opening United Arab Emirates F4 Championship. There is Alex going through in car 41. The RA's GP duo. Yes, first and second to start 2025 in the Middle East. Powell home in the points yesterday. Will need to repeat that. His teammate on your screen, Olivieri, pole position for this race here this morning, and also for race 3, which rounds out the weekend later this afternoon. So the R35 safety car makes its way down the start-finish straight. A supercar which was racing, unfortunately, not anymore, up until recently in GT3 International Racing, the road car version, capable of well over 300 kilometers an hour on a German autobahn. Trust me. Olivieri in the RA's GP car. They're topping 237 kilometers an hour down into turn 1. Once we go green, which we believe will be next time round on lap 3. Olivieri on pole position, the race to start behind the safety car. Gomez, second on the road, second in the championship, 80 points behind Kim Nakamura Berta in car 51, who is in P3. Newman Chi in 28 going through. The safety car will come in at the end of this lap, and we will race green for the second time this weekend here in Spain. Olivieri on the podium multiple times so far in the championship. Finished third yesterday. If you missed race 1, it was Nakamura Berta taking his 8th victory of the season from Salim Hanna. Emanuele overtaking Newman Chi in the dying stages of the race to finish P3. Newman 4, and Lucas Samalisto with a storming drive into P5. The Finns starting at grid 9 in car 7. Just going through now. We watch for the Jensen Motorsport team. In great form here this weekend, Teo Schropp from north of Buenos Aires in Argentina. You can see there is 1 or 2 cars who have elected to start on the wet tyre, hoping, praying that the heavens open imminently, which may well happen, but for the moment the track is dry. It is slightly damp offline. It is a humid morning. It is Olivieri on pole position as Artem Severukian in car 23 goes through. Kabir Anurag right behind. Olivieri backs the field up. An overcast morning here in Spain. Olivieri, P1, RA's GP. Down through the final few corners, the green flag flies now. And for the second time here in Spain, we race. Perfect start from Olivieri. Gomez with Nakamura Berta right behind. See Newman Chi trying to shake the slipstream from his teammate Andrea Dupé. Weldon under attack from Max Popov as well. Down into turn 1, a clean start underway. As Newman Chi, Andrea Dupé, the 2 Prema teammates, go wheel to wheel. Alexander Ruta also shortcutting the circuit. They need to go around the outside of the bollard at the exit of turn 3 in order not to be penalised. It's like a joker lap in WRC. There is no advantage at cutting the circuit down into turn 1. You can see it is slippery offline as Andrea Dupé does well to hold on to car 5. Olivieri leads from Gomez, Nakamura Berta, Salim Hanna, Weldon. There's Samalisto going through. Alex Powell around the outside. And a great performance from the British Super 1 karting champion, the Kiwi Brit Emily Cotti. A career or season best qualifying in P10 in car 42. Her RA's GP teammate right behind, the Jamaican Alex Powell. Powell with the Argentine Teo Schropp just behind. Max on the outside of Sebastian. Down into turn 8. There's Cosmo Christopher on the outside searching for grip in the sole PHM racing car. Remember, the Romanian took pole position on a wet track at Rome. Similar conditions here this morning. where he qualified P1 in the second round of the championship. One of two Romanians in the field, the second of which, Luca Vistoriano, who's down in position 24. A clean start for the second of three races here this weekend. It is Olivieri, the Italian, who leads the way from Gomez, second in the race, second in the championship. Kin Nakamura Berta, one hand on the championship trophy, 80 points. Clear of the driver who is trying to take for second place, Gabriel Gomez. Andrea Dupé going through and taking Alexander Ruta. Emily Cotti, she's in P11. From Sata, Powell, Cosmo Christopher, Dante Vinci, Schropp, Severukian, Alexander Bondarev, Kabir Anurag and Bart Harrison, the Englishman, rounds out the 20. You can still see a little bit of damp spray being blown up or thrown up from these largely Pirelli slick tyres. There is one or two drivers on the wet. We'll see if they do inevitably concede and come in for a pit stop. Here's Cosmo Christopher. The Jensen Motorsport duo. Theo Schropp in 21, Severukian in 23 just behind. Gomez, second in the series, trying to hang on to his chance of winning the Italian F4 Championship. Would be the second Brazilian to do so after Enzo Fittipaldi in 2018. Olivieri. Only two Italians have ever won the National Series as Max Popov goes through. Well, Van Amersfoort Racing, they've won the title twice. Dennis Hauger, who recently wrapped up in dominant fashion the Indy Next Championship. As we see, Nakamura Berta has gone by. We'll get back to that in a moment. Olivieri has run wide and fallen back to P3, so Gomez has gone through to take the race lead. Nakamura Berta in second place now. Gomez has gone P1. Olivieri back into position 3. Salim Hanna, as we see, Guy Albag has pulled into pit lane. The gamble on the wet tyre did not work. The Israeli will have to go to the Pirelli slicks. If he does not get a safety car, he will potentially even go a lap down. Guy Albag into pit lane. Gomez has inherited the race lead, as Olivieri went wide on the previous corner. Previous lap, I should say. Gomez P1, 7/10 of a second clear. This is Popov. Car 3 and P5 from Weldon, Chi, Samalisto, Andrea Dupé, Alexander Ruta in P10. Yes, Van Amersfoort Racing taking the title with Dennis in 2019, Ollie in 2021. Two Italians have won the championship, Gabriele Mini in 2020 and Andrea Kimi in 2022. Olivieri back to P3 after starting from pole position. He'll get another shot in race 3 later on this evening. Nakamura Berta, P2, P1 in the championship. Gabriel Gomez, he won the first race, or his first race of the season at Vallelunga. There's Olivieri, who is fighting now to hold on to third place. He's been caught by the Colombian, the top rookie, Salim Hanna. Weldon, Chi, Samalisto, then this is Andrea Dupé with Alexander Ruta the pole. Just behind is Emily Cotti, having her best run of 2025. RSGP driver. In fact, she is the top RSGP driver. P11 outright in this 36 car field. And it's Sata, Powell, Vinci, Cosmo Christopher, 13 in position 15 from Schropp, Bondarev, who's had a tough weekend. Alexander, the Williams Jr., who did win at Monza earlier on in the season. In fact, it was at Imola just before the summer break, where Alexander, former WSK Supermasters Series champion, won outright. As we take a look at Kornelia Okutska, she has parked off the side of the circuit down into turn 3 as Nakamura Berta now closes up on the back of Gabriel Gomez. Kornelia Olkutska from Poland has parked at the side of the circuit in the 91 Matthew racing car. This is Max Popov on the back of Salim Hanna, tighter line. This just a moment ago. You can see she's just gone around by herself. It looks as though one of the AS Motorsport cars also with a damaged front wing further back. In fact, I can tell you the AS Motorsport team are down in pit lane, waiting for one of their two drivers to come in. It doesn't look as though it was Matilda, though. As now Popov gets the slipstream from Salim Hanna. He's still the top rookie. Newman Chi second in the rookie race. Andrea Dupé, P9 outright, and third rookie for the young French driver, now living in Milan in the north of Italy, who's had a tough 2025. Cornelia Olkutska has got back underway. The track is green once again. Popov in P5 was on the podium in the Euro 4 Championship, the first race of the second round of the three-round European Series last week at Mugello in Tuscany. Now P5 just slides wide, trying to chase down El Colombiano. Salim Hanna goes in deep as we watch the drive coming out of the corner on a greasy circuit down into turn 6. Taken ideally in 6th gear as now they climb up the hill to turn 7, and then this right-hander taken at 175 kilometers an hour, racing down 6th gear now into turn 8 at 215 kilometers an hour, hard on the brakes. Max has a look at the back of Salim, trying to get by the top rookie and the Colombian, and chase up to the back of Olivieri, who fell back to 3rd place in just one moment earlier on in the race. He's back in 3rd place. There's Hanna. Popov, well done. Sebastian in position 6. Remember, still 3rd in the championship. We're already approaching half race distance, the halfway point of the weekend, the penultimate round of the 2025 Italian F.4 Championship, presented by WSK Promotion together with the Automobile Club of Italy, racing here in Catalonia at the home of the Spanish Formula One Grand Prix. Gabriel Gomez from Brazil ahead of the English-born Japanese driver, who's trying to follow in the footsteps of fast Freddie Slater, who dominated on his way to last year's series. With 15 victories, Kin Nakamura Berta unlikely to repeat that feat, but he's won 8 times thus far in 2025 and leads the series by 90 points. This just a few moments ago, Elia Weiss making very slight contact. The German who had to start from pit lane. Phil Strange with the damaged front wing. PC down in 31, still circulating. Has not come in for a front wing change yet. So obviously the team have looked over pit walls, seen that structurally he can continue for the moment, praying for a safety car to come out, which has not happened yet. As we see Nakamura Berta on the back of Gomez. They're running 1-2 in the championship. They're running 2nd and 1st on the road. Nakamura Berta trying to take his 9th victory. He's 90 points clear of the driver who's trying to pass. Gabriel Gomez has only won twice in 2025. Kin Nakamura Berta, 2nd year in Formula 4 for these drivers, running 1-2. Slightly wide coming onto the straight. Out of turn 12. 6th gear as they cross the line. Nakamura Berta in position to the gap, 0.6 of a second. A 1:44.593, fastest lap of the race. Pulls out a little bit down into turn 1, does Gabriel Gomez. Nakamura Berta in P2, the championship leader. This is the penultimate round of the series before we go to Misano on Italy's Adriatic coast. Almost one hand on the trophy, but as you've seen over the past 24 hours, also in the FIA Formula One World Championship, we thought that was a battle just between Lando and Oscar until Max puts the RB machine on pole position and says that title chase is not over yet. Gabriel Gomez also trying to emulate the Dutchman, trying to hold Kin Nakamura Berta behind him and keep the title fight alive until we go to Misano in October to decide the 13th edition of the world's most competitive junior car racing series. Nakamura Berta, there is Olivieri in the background, drifting very wide. Popov, Salim Hanna, still the top rookie. So Max has got by the Colombian. Sebastian in 6 from Newman Chi, Lucas Samalisto, Andrea Dupé, and then Alexander Ruta in position 10. We are into the second half of the second of 3 races here this weekend. Still the track dry for the moment. Phil Strange has come into pit lane, incidentally. A new front wing for the German, for the AS Motorsport team of Andrei Slak. The Slovenian team racing in the Italian Championship. There are 2 drivers here this weekend. Phil Collin together with Matilda Parts. Quite a few German drivers racing in the series. Down through turns 1, 2. There's Sebastian on the back of Salim with Newman just behind. Lucas Samalisto, Andrea Dupé, Ruta, and Emily Cotti. It would be a season best for the quietly spoken Kiwi Brit. She qualified P10 in this 36 car field. She is comfortably the first of the women's drivers, or the drivers fighting for the women's trophy. She's 11th outright, first of the RACE GP drivers. Remember, her 2 teammates include the Mercedes juniors, Alex Powell and Andy Consani. Emily Cotti ahead of Marcus Sata. She's 11th outright. Marcus Sata trying to get by, though. The British Super 1 karting champion from 2024. Emily herself trying to take Alexander Ruta and potentially get up onto the rookie podium as well. This is the fight for the outright podium. Down into turn 8. Gomez, Nakamura Berta, Olivieri, the pole sitter, now under attack from Max Popov. Van Amersfoort Racing, 2nd year in the series. For Max, tight line from Sebastian Weldon. We'll get a good run here on Salim Hanna. The South American from the North American. The Colombian from the driver from Florida in the United States of America. Sebastian is all over the back of Salim. Wide line, gets the slipstream, gets the toe. Here comes Sebastian as they race down the start-finish straight here in Barcelona. We see Olivieri trying to defend from Max Popov. In the background, Weldon. Watch Sebastian send it on Salim. He closes the door on the inside, no problem for Weldon. He tries the outside, cuts back in. Salim's in trouble here. Weldon, can he hold on around the outside of turn 3? They put it to 5th gear, just over 100 miles an hour. Weldon, can he go on by? He's done it. Nicely done by Sebastian. And now it's the North American from the South American. 3 Prema cars on your screen. Weldon, Hanna, and from the People's Republic of China, Newman Chi, who's been caught by Lucas Samalisto. As we saw in race 1 yesterday, a sedate start, but now the race comes alive as we go into the final third of the second of 3 races here this weekend, the penultimate round of this year's championship. Chi on the inside of Salim Hanna. Watch Luca. He put on some superb moves yesterday. Samalisto sends it on the inside for Us Racing. Now gets out of the throttle. He's got speed in car 7 as we go into the final third. Olivieri defends down into turn 8. Weldon has broken clear in just half a lap up into P5. Emily Cotti superb. Powell, Vinci, Cosmo Christopher and Bondarev into 15th place. The fight for the final step of the podium. Olivieri, who started from pole position, the Italian, just lets the car float, drift over the ripple strip coming onto the straight. And then this battle. Salim Hanna, Newman Chi and Lucas Samalisto. Olivieri tries to defend. Popov on the outside, down into turn 1. Can he go on by? Max attacks! Popov now climbs up onto the podium. Nicely done by Maximilian. And Emanuele, who started from pole position, has fallen back to 4th place. Popov in car 3, goes position 3. Fantastic racing here in the Italian F4 Championship, racing the penultimate round for the only time outside the national borders here in the Catalan capital, Barcelona in Spain. Popov has gone on to take Olivieri, driving for the legendary Dutch Van Amersfoort racing team. Popov is now into third place. The problem is he's 7 seconds behind the battle for the race lead between Gabriel Gomez, who's only a couple of car lengths still ahead of Kin Nakamura Berta. Weldon now tries to take the pole sitter. There is 68, Olivieri, coached, mentored by his godfather, the great Dindo Capello, 3 times winner of the biggest race in the world, the Le Mans 24-hour race. Watching on his young protege as we look at the 2 Prema drivers. That's an ambitious move from Newman Chi. Goes in deep, briefly was into 6th place, but ran off the road. Now Lucas Samalisto does go on by. Routers there, Andrea Dubé in car 5. Emily Cotti comfortably leading the women's trophies. She's now on the verge of going inside the top 10 outright and potentially on the rookie podium. She gets the slipstream from the pole, Alexander Ruta. There is Nakamura Berta, still on the back of Gabriel Gomez. Popov has broken clear now of Olivieri. There's Weldon. And then this fight between Salim Hanna, Luca Samalisto. Luca dives down the inside, nicely done. And the Finn for Us Racing goes on by. Emily Cotti still trying to take the second Van Amersfoort racing driver. Alexander Ruta at the moment, P10, 4th in the rookie race. There's Severukian, Strop going by, the Jensen Motorsport duo. Weldon now on the back of Olivieri, who is slipping backwards. We are expecting thunderstorms and rain once again this afternoon for race 3. So whether some of these drivers elected to try and use their best set of remaining slick tyres, praying that it would be a wet track for race 3 this evening, as Kin Nakamura Berta has a slight look down the inside of Gomez into turn 8. They are some 3 seconds off their qualifying pace, a 1:44.593 for Nakamura Berta. Fastest lap of the race. In qualifying, pole position for Olivieri, a 1:41.460 would have in fact put him just at the back of the grid, even for the Formula Regional European Championship race. This is Emily Cotti, Alex Powell, and then quite a distance back. In fact, that was the second race duo of Guy Albag and Andy Consani. They're further back in the field. This is the fight for 4th place. Sebastian Weldon on Olivieri. Olivieri struggling for grip. Sebastian tries to put it down the inside. 3 Prema racing drivers on your screen. Salim Hanna, Numichi, Andrea Dupé, followed by Alexander Ruta, and then the first race duo of Emily Cotti and Alex Powell. Weldon on the outside of Olivieri. There's Samalisto, finished 5th yesterday. He's in position 6. Ruta on the outside. Alexander finds grip on the outside of Andrea Dupé. Olivieri defends. Weldon, who's raced on the ovals in the United States of America. He tries the outline, tries the high side. He's still there. He still holds on. He's got grip, but has to concede the place as now they climb up the hill in 4th gear in turn 8. Frustrated is Sebastian, who senses a chance to also get up onto the podium as well. Remember, he's 3rd in the championship. Olivieri defends down into turn 8. Samalisto in the background is catching the both of them, and there is still time. And once again from race control, we are being told there is the threat of rain in the remaining few minutes of this second race of the weekend. Just in the last couple of laps, it has got increasingly dark. Here in Barcelona, you can see the cloud in the background. The country where most of Europe comes to have their holidays in the beautiful Spanish sunshine, that's not the case here this morning. As Olivieri defends, zigzags down the start-finish straight. Sebastian goes with him. On the outside, has to give him room, does Olivieri. Down into turn 1, there's centimetres, millimetres, 1/1000th of an inch between Weldon, who goes around the outside, and now Sebastian sends it up into fourth place. Olivieri has to concede. Now he's out into the marbles, trying to hold on. Sebastian's on the inside though. Popov goes through, car 3 in position 3. Weldon in P4. Then it's Olivieri. Lucas Samalisto finished P5 yesterday, and he's still got 3 minutes plus 1 lap to catch up to the back of the pole setter to repeat yesterday's result as Olivieri locks up. They come out of turn 5 down the hill, briefly into 5th gear. The fight for the victory. Ken Nakamura Berta just sits there. The safety car has come out onto the circuit. Did Ken Nakamura Berta wait too long? We've got the safety car out on the circuit. We've got word coming through that there is a car stopped in a precarious position in potentially turn 8. We'll get images for you in just a moment. Gabriel Gomez with breathing space for the moment. 2:25 left on the clock, plus 1 lap now. And look what that's done to Max Popov. If we do get a green before the end of the race, this is the reason why. Luca Vistoriano into the gravel, and the Romanians' wretched weekend continues here. Second DNF, second time into the gravel, although to be fair, yesterday was not his own doing. Luca Vistoriano into the gravel. That is the reason why the safety car has come out. The final corner off the road, and smack into the wall goes one of 2 Romanians racing. Elia Weiss goes on through. So Max Popov was 8 seconds behind the battle for the lead. Ken Nakamura Berta, you get the sense he was just waiting to attack. Remember, he's the championship leader, 18 points. It's better than a DNF, although he'd dearly love his 9th victory of the year and a full 25 points going into this evening's final race of the penultimate round of the 13th season of the world's most competitive junior car racing series. 36 cars on the grid, more than 20 nations represented. Racing here at the home of the Spanish Formula One Grand Prix. 2 Formula One races in Spain in 2026, here in Barcelona, and of course, back to Madrid. It's not the first time that Formula One has raced in Madrid. Of course, we go back to the famous Jarama circuit in the 1980s. It's not the only circuit where Formula One has also raced in Barcelona. Of course, Montjuic Park in the center of the city. We go back almost a century, and the Sitges circuit south of Barcelona, reminiscent of the Brooklyn circuit, the original car racing circuit, world's first purpose-built circuit. Sitges does still exist, south of the Catalan capital, also hosting Formula One, as it was, if you can call it that, almost a century ago. We are running out of time, though. You can see the clock is ticking down. 1 lap at the end of this, potentially under safety car. There's the 30-minute mark. The safety car, the R35 with the wipers on. The track is greasy. Ken Nakamura Berta in P2. P1 in the championship. Gabriel Gomez potentially to take the victory. We're getting word from race control. That's the ball game, folks. The full-time whistle after the 90 will blow. Gomez will win. The race will finish under the safety car. Game, set and match. O menino do Brasil. Gabriel Gomez will hold on to take victory in race 2. We've passed the 30-minute mark. You can see the wipers are on, the R35. Last lap board will be displayed. We will finish under safety car. The order will be this: Gomez, Nakamura Berta, Popov will finish in P3 in car 3. Weldon, who just made that move into P4 from Olivieri. Lucas Samalisto, P5 yesterday, P6 today in car 7. In 7th, it's Newman Chi, who also takes the rookie race win from Salim Hanna. Andrea Dubé, Alexander Ruta comes home inside the top 10. just edging out a very impressive Emily Cotti. The final lap of the race. It is early morning over in South America. We hope many of you have woken early to see your boy, do Brasil, Gabriel Gomez, about to take victory and keep the title fight alive at least until this evening for race 3 here in Barcelona. The series final on the second weekend of October, back where the championship started on Italy's Adriatic coast, the MotoGP circuit of Misano, to decide the 13th season of the world's most competitive junior car racing series, as Kabir drives off into the grass, trying to get some pickup, and you can see the spray immediately. Here is Kabir Anurag from Andrea Kostic, Barriere Al Sulati. Last lap of the race, light rain falling here in Spain. And now the sunshine comes out once again. We are expecting another storm this afternoon. Race 5 at 5:30, race 3, I should say, at 5:30 local time. The penultimate round of the 2025 series. Kin Nakamura Berta, almost one hand on this year's championship trophy. Will finish second, but extend his lead slightly in the championship. There is the Spanish sunshine in that part of the circuit. Light rain falling on the start-finish straight, though, briefly. Luca Vistoriano into the gravel. Gabriel Gomez was under attack from the championship leader, Kin Nakamura Berta, who will pick up 18 points and second place and put one hand on the championship trophy. But down on the start-finish straight, the checkered flag is about to wave. The US Racing driver will lead the field round. The safety car has, in fact, pulled into pit lane, despite us being told by race control it would finish under safety car. Will go for green for a couple of 100 metres. They cannot pass until they cross the start-finish line. He will win again. He won at Vallelunga in Rome. He wins here at Catalonia, in Barcelona, in Spain. The checkered flag waves. Victory in race 2. You know you're going to hear those famous words. It is O Menino do Brasil, Gabriel Gomez, second in the series, but goes P1 to win the second of 3 races here this weekend. Gomez takes the victory. Kin Nakamura Berta, second. Do we start engraving his name on the championship trophy? Picks up 18 points after 17 laps here. Max Popov, car 3 in P3. From Weldon, Olivieri, Lucas Samalisto, Newman Chi takes the rookie victory. In fact, the red cars from Grisignano, Newman Chi, Salim Hanna, Andrea Dupe, that's the rookie podium, 7, 8 and 9. For Newman, Salim and Andrea. Alexander Ruta, the final point inside the top 10, just heading home. Emily Cotti. Something of an anti-climax, perhaps. You can see the sky in the background, very dark here. As we look inland, here in the state of Catalonia, in the northeast of Spain, just only, well, barely an hour's drive south of the French border. Gomez takes the victory. Nakamura Berta in position 2, and Popov, another podium, has not yet stood on the top step, but Max, surely that's not far away. As we take a look at the results for you, it's the Brazilian from the Japanese driver. Gomez with the win from Max Popov in third place. Sebastian Weldon, remember, just made that move just in time to take Olivieri. He'll start on pole position for race 3 this evening. Finishes P5 from Samalisto. Chi, who takes the rookie victory, the R to the right of the graphic. Salim Hanna, Andrea Dupe. They round out the rookie podium. Alexander Ruta, the final position inside the top 10. Cotti, we cannot speak highly enough about her efforts. Powell, Cosmo Christopher, car 13, finishing in position 13 from Vinci, Bondarev, Severukian, Schropp, Kabir Anurag, Andrea Kostic, Bader Al-Salati continued to keep his clean record intact, finishing in 20 from Busso. Elliot Weiss from the back of the grid. That was impressive, in fact, for the German. Bart Harrison, Kohler, Walter, Matilda Paz, Kirill Kutzkov, Peyton Westcott, Andre Rodriguez, the drivers from California and Colorado, respectively. Nathaniel Berebe, Phil Strange, who had to pit for a new front wing, Cornelia, who spun on a greasy circuit, Andy Consani, and Guy Albag, the final finisher after the gamble on wet tyres did not work out. Out was Luca Visoriano and the Norwegian Marcus Sata. Surely he is thinking about the championship now. Ki Nakamura Berta. Angelo Rosin, who founded the famous team of Prema, just outside Vicenza, Grisignano. In geographic terms that the rest of the world may understand, not too far from Venice. Founded the legendary team back in 1983. Max in P3 once again. Mega job, Vasilios. His Australian engineer to the right there, congratulating his driver. Do Brasil, do Sao Paulo, o menino has won once again in the 2025 champion. Bravo, Gabri Gomez. Another victory for Us Racing. Miguel, his engineer, who's done a tremendous job all season. Of course, last year took Gianmarco Pradel to a race victory as well. Anna Butner of Us Racing. We take a look at the highlights of race 2. It started behind the Nissan R35 Godzilla's safety car. Olivieri on pole position with a great getaway on a greasy circuit under threat of rain here in Barcelona. Gomez trying to shake Nakamura Berta. They were running second and third. That will become the fight for the lead. What was a clean race despite the conditions here. Bart Harrison on the inside and slightly into the back of his Qatari teammate Bader Al-Sulati. Phil Strange losing the front wing as Cornelia Okutska. She lost the car going right around. Kirill Kutzkov, Elia Weiss. Prum Motorsport, Maffei Racing, they continue that dice. They made contact. And as Olivieri lost the race lead, he fell back from P1 to 2 to 3. And then off the podium is Sebastian Weldon. Boy, does the kid from Florida know how to drive, know how to race. Luca Visoriano into the gravel at the final corner on a greasy circuit. That brought out the safety car once again. Gabriel Gomez walks across the line to take victory. Once again, his third win of the season to win the penultimate race of the weekend. Gomez do Brasil wins here in Spain. Max again in position 3. Nakamura Berta, potentially one hand already on the championship trophy. And Gabriel Gomez takes the win here in Barcelona. Mr. Jean-Louis Santamaria, Executive Director of the circuit, which will host the Spanish Formula One Grand Prix in 2026. And potentially, no, that is not the last time. 2 Formula One Grand Prix in Spain next year. And potentially well into the future. He presents the trophies to Max in P3, Keen in P2, and Gabri wins here in Catalonia. Us Racing back on top once again. Kin Nakamura P2 is getting so close to being crowned the 2025 champion. We've got one race here this afternoon. That's at 5:30 local time. And of course, the championship final on the second week of October at Misano, with the championship started earlier on in the year. Gabriel Gomez takes victory in the second of 3 races here this weekend from Kin Nakamura and Max Popov for Van Amersfoort Racing. 3 different teams on the podium here for the second of 3 races here this weekend.